I had this dream that I was carrying this wheel up this mountain, and I remember halfway up the mountain, I was so tired, and I was thinking, this is so stupid. Why am I even carrying this wheel up this mountain? It doesn't make no sense. And then I finally made it to the top of the mountain, and there was people up there, people that I knew, people that were passed away in the spirit world, and there was people that are still alive today. They were up there and they were shaking my hand. There was one person with his head right down and his hair was down, and he looked really angry. And I extended my hand and I said, you don't have to shake my hand now because I'm going to be around for a long time. This elder took me into this big tent, and that elder said, this is where you're going to do your work. And so I looked at that tent, and there was just a table, and the table had paper on it. And it looked like somebody was going to do a workshop. And I shared this dream with my wife, and she goes, well, that's your purpose in life. You found your purpose. I'm really passionate about the medicine wheel. In that circle is the mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional part. I really love what the teachings are behind them, because it helps me to grow as a person. It helps me to understand more about my body. It helps me to understand more about the spiritual life that I live. When I hold that eagle feather and I talk to other people, I'm talking about what's inside my heart, and that's what's really special. Most of my young adult life, I struggled with alcohol and drugs, and I was going through those intergenerational effects of Indian residential school. And it took a long time to really understand those effects. I was wondering, why am I being discriminated against? Why are things the way they are? When I learned how our indigenous people were there was an attempt to get us erased from humanity. And when I learned what was going on, it took me a long time to actually know who I was. So when I started to find my identity, I began to realize how important it was of following the elders and following the ceremonies. When a lot of people want to know what it is that they can do, what they can do is they can have an education on the true history of colonization in Indian residential schools. A lot of the feedback I get is, I didn't know that. Why didn't I notice? Why didn't I learn this in high school? Or why, I've been to university. How come nobody told me this? When we as Indigenous people create these programs and indigenize our programs and do it respectfully and consulting with the elders and asking the Spirit to guide us and to help us to do this work, it really makes our program really, you get more of a better understanding, I think, when that smell of sage is in the room and we do our songs, and we do those prayers, something magical happens, and I think that's that spirit of the medicine wheel.